Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Croatia. We are fresh off to our biggest victory ever, at least for now, until another big one comes. We have retaken all the Bulgarian cores, even though Bulgaria soon will begin the integration into Croatia, which will take us about a good couple of years or so. But also, we have the most important ones. All of Thrace, well, soon all, is under the control of Croatia, minus the Bulgarian part, which will be joining Croatia soon afterwards. Especially the big prize, Carigrad, the City of Emperors. That's what is also known as. But unfortunately, this monument here, the Hagia Sophia, which is only available for Orthodox, Coptics, and Muslims. But since we're Catholic, to us Catholic Croatia, this thing is useless to us. This monument doesn't mean much other than it's a big backdrop in the background of this great city. The city of world's desire, people say. Unfortunately for that, ever since we've taken this area, since it's fully recovered nicely, it has gone down, it has downgraded the level of coastal center of trade to level 1. Earlier it was level 2 during the days when it used to be the capital of the Ottoman Empire. But it is the home of the Bosphorus Sound Toll, which adds a lot more trade power here. So we're currently controlling the Black Sea trade. All foreign cargo ships passing through the Bosphorus are bound to pay a sound toll. So it's going to come from Crimea, and one's going to come from, it's like where the trade paths go, another from Aleppo, and another from Alexandria. And it has one way out, Ragusa, which is a trade node that we take control personally and make a pretty good fortune here, but it would be better if we can expand more, especially to the next natural harbor in Atina, which is, I guess that's the Turkish name for Athens. I don't know what is Athens in the Croatian language, but we'll find out when in the next war, which won't happen until, 15 years later. Well, actually, you can look at it now. Till 1591. That's when we'll start the next war against the Ottomans for Greece. At least we'll try to get most of Greece that we have claims to, but if you go to the areas of the Aegean Islands, as you can see the region. So, yes, it's part of Anatolia. It says the region is Anatolia, which is slightly contradictory for those that care about geography, but it's part of the Aegean Archipelago. So I thought about, we're gonna have this agreement that our allies, the Karamanids, should have all of Anatolia, but I would exclude them from taking these Greek islands, which is only because it's populated with Greeks, Byzantine Greek, including Rhodes. And maybe one day Cyprus, but Cyprus is owned by Mamluks, which is our most trusted ally, at the most. So we got all this to develop, and yes, I'm aware that we are at war still, but it looks like that war is about to end soon, so let's deal with the... Oh no, the Byzantine separatists will be going away soon. Ticker lists, just do whatever. Orthodox zealots, will have them converted in time. And we are currently converting because there is a recent spread of the reformed sect of Christianity that has been encroaching a bit of Croatia and part of Slovenia. Which is rather concerning because we can't reconvert it back because of religious zeal there. Which it does have an expiration date till 1606. So, as a reminder, in the early 1600s, this needs to go back to being Catholic. I will never convert to another faith. because we've already recommitted ourselves about, you know, the tolerance of true faith and all that. Took a drink. And historically, Croatia is still is a Catholic country. But the presence of other churches, minus the Orthodox for the minority Serbs that still live in Croatia, that Protestant presence in Croatia is only smaller than Orthodox, actually. I don't know about Reformed churches and all the other denominations. It's not as much as I like to talk about theology personally, but that's only for the Eastern world, like the Indian faith. Those are ones into more, and Zoroastrianism to a degree, but not this here. This is not the place to be discussing such things here. But anyways, well, what's next for Croatia? As I said, integrate Bulgaria. When truce expires, which will probably happen 2 episodes down the line. Greece is next, because we have legitimate claims for the rest of Greece. And we'll figure out how to get the Aegean Islands to Croatia. And exclude the Karamanids. I mean, they can have Anatolia, but here's the thing, though. As powerful as the Ottomans were, and knowing they would all be similar one day, at least we will have friends in Anatolia instead of enemies. For to support Croatia on whichever we will expand. You could say I have friends in the Anatolia and the Middle East at the most fun. Just because we're not quite hardcore Catholics, because we're humanists, we view fellow Muslims as friends and potential allies because of only what we have in common. And that is the worst enemy. Used to be... would not trust Croatia to die properly. Ooh. That's quite a statement there. Anyways, turn back. I'm not going to intervene in that conflict, knowing that it's going to end soon. And once the conflict ends, begin integration. And also, we gotta start saving up money to, you know, embrace the printing press here. It's already present here in Croatia proper, but if a single part of it is present in Bosnia-Herzegovina, I will put an edict to spread that institution further. You know, just to help it a bit. As our neighbors have embraced the printing press, but we have not yet. But give it a moment. Although I may have to spend something little. %. Come on, you got what you want. End the war already. Sure thing. In fact, why did you ask me access if you're not at war with anybody? You just going somewhere? Oh, and also I forgot that Venice is at war with the Ottomans. They want Corfu back, but I hope they do not expand into mainland Greece, because mainland Greece will belong to Croatia. Yeah, bring them back. Good timing. We did not take part in a single battle, and didn't need to. We only got 1 ducat out of that amount, and those 4 favors. Thank you very much. Now, I just remembered something else. Consider this as the start of the Golden Era, starting now, which will last for 50 years, which our morale of armies and navies are up, all power costs reduced. the goods modifier up so we can increase a bit of income here. Maximum absolutism up and revolutionary zeal up, but please be aware that a Gonar can only be enacted once by a country in a campaign. Really, only once? In other words, use it wisely, but I'm thinking about starting that now because, well, knowing what the Age of Absolutism will bring coming 1600s, and I did some looking up, I would just say we can only get multicultural nation done and multiple universities, but I don't think so. And knowing that we'll likely live into the Age of Revolutions as well, all that, I think we have to start it now because there's no way I'll be able to achieve all those objectives in these next 2 ages, so start now. Yeah, changed, so it's a golden era for Croatia. Once per campaign. Keep that well in mind. Until 1629. Now it's time to begin, but assimilation will be done by March of 1587, just 1 year before that Diet agenda, the agenda by the nobles, that would expire. So we'll get it by then. But 7 diplomatic power. Oh, that's definitely gonna hurt. Get that off. Right. And now that we're at peace, let's lower the autonomy. Finally. This may cause more unrest, but we don't care. We need the good amount of income coming from these nearly conquered gains. Because the wealth of the land. So yeah, separatism jump up and we will remain here until they are defeated. So a monthly increase is just only +1. But there is one thing. Since we got all this income now. There's this visor here. Diplomatic reputation +1. Cheap, you know? There's a reason for that. Because as you annex this vassal, or this here. Same culture group, yes, but diplomatic reputation is another reason. So, hire him. That'll be the last time I'll spend anything, hopefully. And it'll be done instead at 1586. And as long as the statists remain in power, we will have that diplomatic reputation. So, once this term ends, we have to pick a statist candidate. No monarchist. And if I have a lot of diplomatic power in future, I'll be sure to include the Albanians and Bulgarians as accepted culture. And whenever we level this up in the future, there's room for one more. And I'm thinking, well, knowing that we plan on expanding into mainland Greece, we have to include the Greeks in, because they're going to have more development total in our country than with the Turkish here. And definitely not the Venetians. So as I said, we'll bring the Albanians and the Bulgarians in the future, so penalties reduced. Is that so? But Bulgarians are numerous, but they're not well developed in most areas except for Skopje, which they have developed quite a bit because it was their capital and they got nothing better to do than, well, let's develop our capital. Seems they've done well for themselves. And plus all the trade goods. I forgot to look up the trade goods of the newly acquired lands besides the gems. Cloth and livestock. Coming soon we'll get some copper and some iron. Plenty of grain, more cloth, fish, and wool. And when we go down to mainland Greece in the future, we're gonna have wine. Plenty of wine. There's so much wine to go around. Even though, yeah, there is one up there, but a lot more. But then again, that's just for you. If you want that value, just make manufactories or whatever. If you have the money. Which you can't afford, by the way. Which reminds me. Okay. We'll be sure to, in 1584, get a lot of money out of these guys so we can use that money to embrace this institution as we're trying to spread it around. And since we got this new income, well, institution spread here. You know, since you almost never look up devastation, you might as well replace that. Institutions. Add another map mode. Institutions, institutions, institutions. Here. So you can stop going all that all the time. What the heck? Oh, here it is. Slavonia. We'll give them that too. Plus, this has better detail anyway, so I guess. And when Slavonia has all of the printing press institution present, then I have to do it for Serbia as well. Don't put it in yet. But for now, drill. Now that we're at peace again, and we'll keep drilling until there's an uprising. Of course, the Papal State's always spying on us. Ever since we beat the holy heck out of the Ottomans, seems they're not doing well in getting Corfu, but they're quite far off. Oh, and do not forget, since, you know, since we got all this prestige now, and did this thing where prestige per development for missionary. For each time we convert, we get prestige. Knowing that we'll be getting Bulgaria soon, so we might as well start converting to keep that religious unity up. Wait, one. Oh my goodness. They done lost an army. Ottoman particular lists. Prestige up a bit. Wait 1 month. Okay, now you can convert again. No way you're gonna convert that. Because of the development, non-exhibit culture, and Sunni. And as much as I would like to get this next level of administrative technology, but I think it would be wise to save it up for economic ideas so we can get more national tax modifier. Because we need to get more wealth out of this big country that's ever growing. This is for increased toleration of heretics. This is for, you know, this till the end of the game. To add more missionary strength. Not enough to, you know, to convert this land. And you can't do that against the Reformed Church. But we got rid of the Protestants here. Although honestly, could have gone for this because I thought the presence from other churches would be weak. But nope, it's growing in popularity in this part. Look at the percentage, how it increases in places like here. Spreading it all around. Gotta reduce the cost. And if we're lucky, gold rush from Kosovo. Oh, I just remembered another thing. Since, you know, we're trying to get more money, there's another way. Since we have the trade power here, the best one in the world, I mean, if we can upgrade it further, which I will do that after I embrace the institution, then save up money to upgrade this coastal center of trade here, to get it back to the way it was. A merchant. There's no need to transfer trade power anymore, as we control 37% of its trade power here, while the Ottomans have 47%. Even though we plan on taking more of this for the Ragusa trade now, but eventually, when we get some of the Aegean and Ottomans eventually be replaced by the Caramanids, then that could change, and especially when we increase trade power here locally. Send a merchant to collect from trade instead. There's no need to transfer anymore. Alright. So, you're gonna see this bit of change right now. So Ragusa trade reduced, but we make more collect trade from here in Constantinople. So we just kind of, it's like, okay, Ragusa won't get as much as we own it personally. And since we owned the Constantinople trade node, well, we got money out of that by sending a merchant to collect the trade. And bringing a total of this amount. A little better. So we're definitely on our way. When are they gonna stop? Honestly. Till the end of the game. Or till whenever it goes away on its own. Are they done? Wait 1 month. Yeah, I guess they're done here. Yeah, why not? The thing about being defender of the faith. Of course, that's gonna aggravate them more. The Byzantine separatists. But at least when we get all of Bulgaria, their opinion will go up again for the Commonwealth. many favors you got? Need a little more trust from you. Just to make damn sure you don't ever betray us. And worse, I consider them as, well, trying to make best friends out of them. And forbid there would be the day that they'll stab us in the back. So I just want all of your trust. That is all. Just to reaffirm our alliance. They beat back the Venetians. Land technology research useless. Oh. We got a lot of military power. And we're not getting much now, so I'll take the hit. Didn't want to lose some of that prestige. Also, at this rate, with the integration of Bulgaria, this might jump Croatia into becoming a great power. A regional power, I should say, in relevance of where we are. You've embraced the printing press as well. Well, we're still trying to catch up. Unless we struck gold here again. Garjat is the new leader. Such is life. Garjat. Why do I need to know that? Let me see those notifications. I don't know why they told us that. You know, I have no desire to go to India. I mean, if I had to go to India, I would have to conquer Egypt. And then create a new fleet here. And then use it off the jumping point. And then you go to places like Goa. And then you have a Croatian Eastern Indian Trade Company. Whatever. Also, I just need you to move it here. Because Coastal Fortress, you'll be safe in there. In case of enemy aggression that happens to go to the coast. Just transferring. Oh, I remembered another thing. Damn it, man. You're slacking. Since we make a bit of fortune here at Constantinople, so let's do it with Venice. All 18 of these light ships of various types, as we are too lazy to upgrade them. Election in the kingdom. 2, 4, 3, 6, 3, 4. But that diplomatic reputation. Also, both of these candidates are named Kresimir. Diplomatic reputation means you integrate them faster. And national interest will go up. So that means you'll definitely have to put him down. And if a monarchist candidate means this guy's going to rule for life. Which means yay for administration, but not so much for diplomatic skill. Ugh. That's all I gotta say. Do you want 4 years with this guy? Which, hey, at least you get some military power out of it. But administrative gain, not so much. I mean, having him for life means, you'll be more inclined to get rich. But 4 years of this man, means that when is it complete? And you got this, which will expire 58. I'm gonna have to compromise. Just go for status candidate. Just gonna have 4 years of this, man. Much as I wanted a monarchist, but we're in the middle of integration, so we'll have to say no. The hell is Novgorod? Our brothers and sisters in faith, they're Catholic, is requesting to conduct a Muscovite purge of the Novgorodian heresy against Muscovy, Ryazan, and Nizhny Novgorod. We are defenders of the faith and we are obligated to protect them. Muscovy is allied with Perm. If we dishonor this, the Novgorodian opinion of us is changed by 25, minus 25. The trust of all Catholic countries changed by minus 20. Diplomatic reputation. Damn! Okay then, you got me. So we're gonna have to stop drilling. Muscovy has started this, though we're badly outnumbered, because we know how big their country is. And the capital of Moscow is not far from here. So we're going to be in for a long march then. But fortunately the Muscovite Navy is not going to be a problem because they don't have a presence there. And our ships are not in a mood to go far to, you know, keep them at bay. Sweden's going to be having a hard time, and so do they. They got nothing, so they're going to be overwhelmed. And Sweden's going to have a bit of a hard one. So then, we do not have military access there. You sure about that? Wait 1 month. Oh, cruel. I think I made the right call. Yes, our cry is cruel, but it's only going to be 4 years, so that means uprising is likely. Or should we just say, well, screw it, we ain't going to come up there. We got an uprising to deal with. And it's going to come sooner than you think. Especially them. You know what? Keep drilling. False alarm. Don't go up there. We'll just say, hey, we accept it. And what happens when they lose? What kind of penalty are we going to get? If it goes long, I might most likely go for white peace. I don't want to get involved in that mess. It's far from here. And one day I'm going to be dealing with you, Austria, even though you are the HRE Emperor, which means that you got a bunch of friends. And the HRE members will join. That's only if the Commonwealth can help us out. If not, then my Anatolian friends, it's a big maybe. You just need a little more trust. That's all. Learn to trust. Trust is key to building a relationship. Big, beautiful relationship. Trust Croatia in play. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to spend the rest of it on more trust. But just enough to 10. Alright? Why the hell not? Because you're going to be my #1 Anatolian ally. Akunulu is a bit sketchy, even though we trust him. Sunk one ship and they decided to hightail it. Well, they never asked us for access. I would have given to them, honestly, because I don't like the Venetians as much as I don't like the Ottomans. That's it. Trusts utterly. So when we border each other, then good. That means you can come to Europe for aid in case we get attacked by an aggressor. Oh yeah, they're done for. Where are we at this one? It's present. It's starting to become present in Serbia. It's starting to get there. You know what? Do include that. Institution spread. Because the more you spread it, the more it's going to reduce the cost to embrace it later on. And in 3 years' time, I'm going to ask Genoa or Tuscany, whoever makes the most money, to give some ducats to me. Because I'm willing to do anything for money nowadays. Claim expired, which I don't plan on going up there yet. Just need the autonomy lowered, and then great wealth can be utilized. And it would be a lot easier if I just mothball all these forts. Oh, speaking of mothballing, forgot about that part. Because I care about, you know, keeping that army tradition up. The Ottomans are no longer considered a great power. The world has decided not to entertain the Ottomans' claims for greatness. Until it reaches 90%, stop drilling. Right. Oh, stop drilling. It's happening. Move. You stop drilling. Don't want to, you know, let them spawn right in the middle where the morale would be down the most. Merchant defects. Oh, not here. Slight loosening pulse might be the answer. I mean, we always get foreign spy detection. We would lose a bit of mercantilism, but faster institution spread. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. And of course, free trade means a little more income, which money that we need to embrace it. All you gotta do is just be patient. Speaking of which, since I got all this papal power, no, that won't matter because we'll get it in a few years' time. I'd love to have that. Just to get the stability all the way up, which would do us wonders. Thanks to the non-Latin Bible, that's institution spread. Latin Strinsky no longer lives. Died from an illness contracted in the field. Died too soon without being able to accomplish much enough. Well, we still have that one other guy, Vladislav Abonich, who isn't as good, but if it can be improved upon, he'll be a 2-star general. By drilling, of course. Actually, we do have access to them. What makes you think we had a war, you know? Naval research wrong! The heck? It seems if a leading shipwright in our country has written a very convincing document detailing how the new ship technology that his rivals were trying to get funding for will never work. It may even cause ships to sink before they leave the harbor. Kinda need that, so ignore them. Also, just in time. Crush them. Back to your posts. And as for that war, white piece, please. No. Because we know Sweden's going to be out of the war soon. And I'm already out of the war myself. Because I don't want to take no part of that, despite the fact we're supposed to defend our Catholic brethren. But it's just one minor province. Venice is making big gains. Because they have the loan of 20 that has lent us is now expired. I need the money to embrace the institution, so I refuse to pay. Sorry about that. But hey, we're good, right? You fully trust us. Now, 100%. Now you can never get as much trust out of as you can. This is basically our brand new ally, replacing the Ottomans, our new Anatolian ally. They'll be with us wherever needed. All they need is to expand more of Anatolia, and we'll be bordered. I get to have the Balkans, you get to have all this. Tuscany! Sophisticated influence of Tuscany has given us a chance to catch up in technological process by the means of knowledge sharing, giving us 1% growth towards printing press in our capital area provinces. Naturally, a monthly fee of 10% of our income. Will be paid by us if we accept. It's a nice offer, but you see, I mean, the income which we need that to embrace this institution as it's spreading in Slavonia. But if you're talking about our capital area provinces, no, we got it done, so I respectfully decline. But once it spreads more, like if we get up Donja Kraj and that bit of Herzegovina and more Slavonia, Gallipoli even. Yeah, if we can get all of that in here, then we'll be able to embrace it. And in 2 years' time, call Genoa to get ducats out of them. Since they have it's a high income country, you know. Back to drilling. I know it's fully drilled nearly, but this is just to keep leveling up the army professionalism. But it looks like you are beaten. I said no. We'll be fine. It's just Donja Kraj needs to be needs to have the institution introduced. Which we will. All I can say is you folks stop asking me. Plus I need all that income. Innovativeness is decreasing. And plus we'll get a little bit more income with Bulgaria coming to Croatia. And this will no doubt make us a great power because of the amount of development total. And combine it with us. And when we get mainland Greece, oh boy, we are definitely a great power. More of Africa is known. As I said, we just want out of this war. In fact, is there anything you want? If we want to get reparations? And all trees. Hell no. As stated before, it's not worth losing our lives up there. Plus it would hurt the income. It's not a good investment. More than halfway now. March of 1584, remember that. Also next year. You could possibly take advantage of the Ottomans since they're getting mauled by the Venetians. Gotta hope they don't get super aggressive by taking most of mainland Greece because they don't have claims to it. They only have Corfu and Crete. Sweden is out. Well, I want out too. But not yet. Yet. Just wait for Novgorod to surrender, then there you go. Of course, that means they're likely going to turn their attention to us. If you give these sons of beeswaxes access, well, we'll be sure to fight them in battle. Nobles look to the Prince of Croatia. Belief in the virtue of hereditary power tends to be strong among those who have themselves inherited their power. Local nobles in Croatia don't see that connection and argue that the wish is to see the House of Krešimirović in power is grounded in their concern for national unity and stability. Governing those who don't believe in what they're trying to achieve is not easy. Sometimes direct conflict cannot be avoided, sometimes it can be avoided at a price. Nobles in Podrinja, or strengthened monarchists, which hurts the trade efficiency. Okay. We're gonna deal with them. But just wait until you're in position to Podrinja. And Vida and Belgrade. Okay, peace has been accepted. Corfu and Crete and Ergebos. Oh, that area. So that means the Italians have returned to the Balkans, and we will drive them out one day. But I would deal with the Ottomans first, and then Venetians, to take Corfu, Negropante, also known as Euboea, and Crete. Since we have a few transport ships, that's no problem. It's just you gotta defeat the Venetian navy, as well as the two Sicilies. And a bit of the Knights as well. Which also the area we have no claims to, plus that's part of Sicily. You probably don't want to have that in your conscience. And if I were to go to war right now, oh yeah, we will definitely crush them. Especially the Karamanets, which they trust us fully now. And at Konulu, we gotta start trusting each other, so... Listen, done with you. Because you know where we are. Whereas for you, we gotta start building trust. Tell the army's position, then the cabinet dynamism. The combination of the correct people in our cabinet can create conditions for a nice little boost in tax income. You'll be pleased to hear that this has just happened. Oh, this is good news indeed. You're sure about this? Seems like it. Okay, you know what? Since you've been spying on me, I'm sending... Go. If we could fabricate a claim, I would probably... Well... I mean, you'll have that claim, so... Go for that. I mean, we do have these two, but you gotta include that as a claim fabricated. That's for a future war against them. Two months from now. One more month. So I'm willing to strengthen the statists. Get in there. Knowledge sharing from Commonwealth. Let me see where we are at this point. About to be present in parts of Slavonia. And the home's about to get it, so again, I'll still say no. Because I'm about to get that money. And we've been saving up that military tech. So we'll get this new type of infantry soon. So after that little fight, then we will introduce a new type of infantry. Which one will be our pick? It's a real question. Now. That'll teach them a lesson. Respect the statists. But it seems we are accepted the fact that one day Croatia will become a republic. A Balkan federation of sorts. Now, let's replace it with... I'll go for this. Although the Tercio came to dominate European battlefields, it was initially too slow to be of use on the more open, cavalry-dominated battlefields of Eastern Europe. However, as the pike component of the Tercio fell, given it more firepower, it became more useful on the eastern battlefields. So we're going to go for it. It's just more of defensive morale. I care about defensive more than offense. Since we've been on the offensive these days, but we'll be on the offense a little more in future against Venice and Ottomans. It's just, it'll take a while. We'll start getting all that diplomatic power again once the integration is complete. Keep an eye on it. Wait until Slavonia. There's home. Now let's wait for Slavonia to be present and then get the money off of Genoa, which do that right now. Since they make the most income out of anybody. So 264. You make 59. How much do you get? Okay, you win. If you go in depth, I'll apologize at a later time. We can embrace it now if you wish to. But I like to save up a little more. Plus wait for Slavonia. For the printing press to be present here. Which it seems is going to be a few months from now. And this will be the only time I'll spend the administrative PowerPoints. But this is for income reasons. So, pay attention. There's bureaucracy. There you have it. Wait for Slavonia, and then embrace it. While meanwhile, let's just learn to trust each other again. Yeah, they are coming. Stop drilling. Move back a bit. Scram. Can we talk about peace here? White peace? Can we talk about this? Listen, you got what you want. Novgorod, please surrender so we can get the hell out of this war. Didn't want to get involved in that, but clearly. Back a little. I hope they come to Kosovo, because the highlands up there, they're dead men if they do go there. If we can win at least one battle, we can white peace out. That's grasslands. As far as river crossing is concerned, no river crossing at Sofia. Let's go in after them. Get into position. Don't let those armies unite. Naval officers are retiring. Our decision to start favoring the armies led to a crop of promising young naval officers retire from service. They claim there are not as many opportunities for advancements as there used to be. Damn. Damn indeed. I doubt we can catch them. That's the Belgrade. That's Visuki. They are gonna get together. This is what I get for being defender of the faith, huh? Going to Vratstin. This way. Just, come on. 2, 3, 3. Where's... Just scare them away. Scare them away so we can get out of this damn conflict. But perhaps just winning one big battle will do. They got so many good generals. And we can't tell which one is the worst out of all of them. It's present. No, we won't catch them. Damn them. Just trying to lure them over here. But it's election time. 4, 2, 3. 3, 5, 6. This will be another 4-year term, obviously. So go for this one. Just 2 more years. Needed more enthusiasm, but it's just the length of the war. Yeah, that's mountainous terrain. So don't do that. Gazimuk became vassals of the Ottomans. Where's that? Oh, over there, I see him. These guys are Dagestani. Which again, this is the war that I never didn't want. But we're gonna get involved. Damn, these guys are fast. Higher maneuver than us. Hang on, isn't there a river crossing from Voinovat? Yes. We're just trying to get him surrounded. There's the grasslands. Here's a place that we can get them to fight. Bold fighter. Land leader shock. Is that for all of them? For all armies in general, rather than him in command? Is that how that works? Where do you find that statistic? I don't know, just hang on. Alright, we got you surrounded. No, you don't. Make it crossing penalty. Bull. You get the penalty. Okay, we have to get them to a place where they must fight. It's mainly true of some cannons, but we have a lot more cavalry. After chasing them all the way, we're finally going to catch them in Austria of all places. And after this battle, after this victory, we'll white peace out. We just want to beat the heck out of them and get out of this mess, so I can embrace that institution. Oof. Annihilated all of them. There. Now get me out of this war. Want nothing to do with it. Never asked for it. Well, they asked you to join. And that's how it works, you know. Okay, now they say it. It's the war exhaustion. Okay, finally, as we wanted. Just white peace, that's it. Want out of this war? Want nothing to do with you anymore. We just annihilated your army as easily as we did with some of the enemies of the past. Just good to know. Now, where are we in this damn? Might as well embrace it now. Thank goodness. Embraced it. And if you want to have full stability, you're going to need this much. Which is good, actually. For full stability. Plus our newer infantry units may have played a role in that. May have, keyword. 18%. Well, to be fair, that we haven't really... Well, what about here at Constantinople? You make no profit, but trade value from this to this, compared to Venice, which was from trade profit. What made them gain? Oh, made some coastal centers of trade. Well, you just wait until the caravans come knocking on your door. And when we expand to here, and when we start saving up all that money again, this must turn back to a center of trade level 2 here. As it should be. Unless you want to edict to, you know, protect trade, just to add a little more local trade power here. And since we finally embraced it, take these off. Bring in a total of that. Do that. Same with, you know, what we did here for the Raguz trade. No, we're doing the same for here. I know it's pretty demanding, but this is just to get it back up. The rest of the world shall tremble at the sound of our might, and the glory of Croatia shall soar and above horizons far and wide. We have now a great power, impressive, as the papal state is no longer a valid rival of Croatia. Well, we'd never delivered on our promise of, I'm gonna go beat him up and sack Rome again. No, we kinda got over it. We just need new enemies to fight. And I know who exactly. You guys. No need for a royal marriage because you'll be coming to Croatia soon. So we are number 7 of the great powers of the world. So that means as a great power, I can now either tag on a foreign debt, influence a nation, intervene in war, or tell them to break one of their alliances. I can do that. Seems like a good alternative to favors. But once we acquire Bulgaria, which will be next year, we will definitely jump up in the ranks of a great power. Feel good about it. Also, I just spend one more trust from you. Just simply for the sake of it. Because just want you to say quickly, Carigrad declared war on the Ottomans. Conquest. Hey, what happens if I were to intervene in a war? Because, you know, we cannot, because there needs to be at least one great power on each side of the war. We have a truce with the Ottomans. Oh, okay, okay. Well, they haven't called for us for help. And our truce is not to expire in 6 years. I mean, if you have what it takes, you got 15,000 and more. And who are the Ottomans against? Just Carigrad. I see. You can only intervene if there's another great power. Like, say, if France was fighting against England, I can choose either side with the French or the English, for example. Especially Commonwealth. If they ever fight against Muscovy, I would definitely intervene on a Commonwealth's behalf. So they haven't called for us to help, and all I could say is, well, best of luck to you. If you lose, well, you lose. I'm not going to say you'll disappoint me. It's just, well, is what it is. I was about to say, why don't you have royal marriages anyway? And I forgot, they're a monastic order. They don't do royal marriages. There's this unique sheikdom of theirs. But they're not allied with the Ottomans in any way, shape, or form. So Knights to Sicily, so it'd just be these countries. That'll be good enough. If we want to take those areas immediately, if we were in the mood for aggressive expansion, but not now. I just need a few claims off of them, particularly this one. And possibly here, here, and here. Since I've always dreamed about expanding into Italy. Since we have the Balkans pretty much secured except mainland Greece. Oh, you nuts, no, Admiral. And you are beating them. Don't worry, we got it. You're fighting mainly transport ships. So they got a few ships off of that. So the Caramanids have got the naval front secured. Now they're about to get into battle, which is probably not going to go well for the Caramanids. Not at all. You were being too overconfident. That was your problem. That's the problem with you. You were too overconfident for your own good. If I was to join your war, I'd be happy to. Now they're probably going to want some of these cores back. That's what's going to happen to you when you lose on that front. Cornelia would not join despite the fact that they trust fully. It's because of the distance. It's not really of their interest to be fighting a war like that. But when it comes to the Ottoman issue, oh yeah, we can get them. But the attitude versus... might be a chance. All we need to do is, keep building trust with them in the next few years. Then they'll consider. If we have the diplomatic reputation, that is. Drill. As I have a habit, so might as well do that for the rest of them. dealing a bit of timber troops up there by the counterminutes. I'm gonna keep using that. This is how Croatia can have relations of both East and West. Mostly East. One more time. Hey! Fabricate. Oh, just one more month. Here. For future reference. Good enough. You got it. Another reason why I'm interested more of going to the Republic. I'm just not interested in personal unions. We're a great power now. I can understand the benefits of a personal union, but I think we're kind of far away from that sort of idea. Here it is. Bulgaria has accepted our irresistible proposal of annexation, or integration, say it more politely. They are now part of a glorious nation. Here's your prestige. Independent Cossack host. Because close by. And also that completes our mission. Create a grand fleet. Oh, it's the 30 galleys. We got some of them from that Bulgarian navy that they were just building barely. They'll join our fleet. So this is our reward. Morale of the Navy's up, so is the sailors and the Navy tradition yearly for 25 years. And that leads to dominate trade, which you gotta have here in Ragusa. 75% or more trade power for the rest of the campaign. Wow. And let me guess, we're nowhere anywhere near that. 20%. Because you got all these countries next to you. Ragusa is not exactly the best place to have that trade node increased. Now here in Dubrovnik, trade power, let me see. It's because of the lack of development is one of the reasons. Here. And if you want to make it a world port, you gotta get the development up to 30. I think that will happen if I get all the economic ideas, because when it's complete, development costs reduced, and then you put an edict to reduce development, and then build here in Dubrovnik, and you get what you want. And since we've inherited this Bulgarian army here, we could start building it. If we have the force limit. Just fine. Also, states. Also, we no longer have that privilege because we don't have vassals anymore. What's next? Magnus House worship in Vidin. Nobody wants Inner Austria. Entrepreneurs of burgers Slavonias invest in the production's infrastructure. What's it like over there, development-wise? Mm-hmm. Yeah, why not? Have the money for it. Which I'll get at any time. Because I just realized. When is the next time I'm gonna get money off of you? 1589. But your income is nearly good, but I wanted to upgrade this badly. So it just helps it. Adds more local trade power to here. A little more trade power means a little more income, so. Genoa. Alrighty. It's 23% and now it's 29%. Hardy seamen. Watch your words. Our traditional fisheries are proving excellent grounds for recruiting sailors of our fleet. This has filtered into the better leadership in our navy. Good to see. Naval traditions going way up. Welcome to the navy. See, 30 galleys is what we mean. Yeah, we got so many light ships. That's, again, way over the naval limit. But I think we just stopped caring. As long as we can afford it. I remember. Lower the autonomy. So you can get more income out of this. Especially right here in Skopje, which they increased their development quite a bit here. Almost to 20. There's your total. And plus it adds a little bit more trade power to lower the autonomy. Well, since it's all going to Constantinople trade node anyhow. See how this is going to change. Just for lowering that autonomy. $30. Hey, mind if you, as much as I would like to add more trade power, Constantinople is where you make the most money now. Venice, not so much. But if you want to improve the Ragusa trade node, especially the home of it, well... Well, you better start getting that development up on some of these areas in future. Now we get this, which you are saving it for that next level tech. In fact, save them all. Not as drilled. But when we raise a little bit more money, then it'll be improved upon. Or increasing the size, I should say. against Venice. You started. Well, this is a grand opportunity. I mean, sure they'll be fighting on this front, but... Oh, hell. Get over here. Set full sail, boys. We're going to war. We'll join. We'll join. Gentlemen, stop drilling. And I don't know about this Bulgarian army here. In fact, I'm going to start renaming those armies because, you know, this 25,000, it was the first time. It came first. And we'll rename it a second, and this one will be third. Okay? I'll do that in the next episode. Keep in mind the two Sicilies. Oh, but did you take part of that too? Okay, good. Genoa, Savoy, Geneva, Tuscany. Oh, don't worry, Croatia will be there too. In fact, this is the army that's going to go capture these areas here. And maybe Crete if we can get a transport, but I doubt we can get those gains ourselves since it's Genoa's war. But hey, we need something to do. So wait until the Navy's at port, and then we will end the episode. You'll get my answer in a moment. And we need an admiral for this. And we'll go get that admiral. Because in the next episode, Croatia will join a war. For the first time in a while. Even though our Anatolian friends won't be there. But we most certainly will. These two armies are the ones that's going to go up to that front. And that one, well, it looks like we're just going to skip it on over and take that bit. In fact, start repairing those. We might use them just to transport this bit to get Crete and then in and out. Easily. So that's what this next episode is going to be about. It's going to be about this war that Genoa started, and we will be there. Well, we better get over there fast. Just defeat all the few Venetian ships in the way and try to join this big naval battle before it's over. We got a lot of work to do, as I often say in every end of the episode. But until then, so long for now.